Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
Today we're discussing Haunted Wedding, which originally premiered on the Hallmark Channel on Saturday, October 12th, 2024. Hey, we would love to be your friend outside of the podcast. Follow us in lots of places. We're super active on Instagram, where we have 2 accounts, Girls Gone Hallmark and Megan and Wendy.
Hey, jump into our Facebook group, Girls Gone Hallmark in Facebook groups. I'm going to leave a link in our show notes. But, hey-o, I saw that we hit 800 over there, and now we're even way above that.
Yep. Just climbing. Way
is relative, but
10 above that.
Well, hey, how did that happen so quickly? Just in a matter of days. Anyway, come join. We're talking about all the movies. There's been a lot of discussion in there about the new Aurora Tea Garden movies, which we are not reviewing here on the podcast, just simply because of time. And a lot of talk about this rumored Haul Out the Holly 3 movie. If you're just looking for information or some place to air your grievances about Hallmark Plus, our group is the place to be.
Yeah, just be in a like-minded group with all kinds of Hallmark fans like yourself.
Yeah, it's really not negative either. I know.
No, it is a pretty drama-free location on the internet.
Yes, it is. It's a nice little spot.
If you have information that you want to convey directly to us, the best way to do that is to send us an email, girlsgonehallmark@gmail.com. You can email thoughts, questions, whatever you're thinking about over there.
Do we have any new emails for today?
We have a Chicken Sisters email that I'll be sharing on tomorrow's episode.
And I read it already.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to discuss that email.
Me too.
Okay, good.
We wanted to remind everybody that Countdown to Christmas does start this Friday, October 18th. We have a full schedule on our website. You can see in our show notes the schedule of movies we will be covering. Wanted to share next week's schedule with you just to get you pumped for what's coming. First of all, before we get to next week, I want to remind you that on Friday, we have an interview with friend of the show, Crystal Lowe. It is a great interview about her project this time each year, as well as some upcoming projects, her work as a director. It's a really good time. She's so fun to talk to, so definitely tune in for that. That was not on our original schedule. Just a peek behind the curtain, we don't share interviews as part of our schedule because we're talking with people who have very busy schedules and things could happen. So until that audio is in the can, I just assume it's a maybe.
Yeah, but FYI, guys, we got a bunch of good ones really coming up.
So many. You guys are going to be really excited. I'm so excited for people that we're talking to this season. So next week, starting on Monday, we're reviewing The Groomsman First Look, which drops this week, by the way. Tuesday, our review of 'Twas the Date Before Christmas. Wednesday, Chicken Sisters episode 7. Thursday, our review of Holiday Crashers, and Friday, our review of Scouting for Christmas. It is 5 full days of episodes next week to kick off the Countdown to Christmas season.
Megan, how did we even get here? When we first started doing Girls Gone Hallmark, when it was a bonus episode, maybe we did 1 a week. I don't even think it was that much. And here we are. Here we are now.
We did 1 a week, and there were a couple times we'd be like, should we do 2? And yes, here we are, a 5 episode week. Not every week we'll have that many episodes. There are a lot of factors that went into our schedule planning. You can see the full schedule, but we're trying to hit as many of the highlights as we can, knowing that there are going to be some big moments that we miss. So you should be following us on Instagram to make sure you get a full comprehensive coverage from Girls Gone Hallmark.
Listen, Hallmark is literally trying to kill us this season. So, I mean, I guess they just don't want podcasts covering their stuff. They're like, we're just gonna
That's their actual master plan. Let's create so much content that no one can cover it, and then they'll just go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Joke's on you, Hallmark. We're going to cover it all or die trying.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's jump to our thoughts on Haunted Wedding with a synopsis.
Jana and Brian's plan to wed is in jeopardy when Angelique, a ghost in the 18th century wedding dress, vows to stop it. The couple must work together to save their wedding from disaster.
We are going to jump into news and notes, but first, y'all, I just want to say that we've come a long way from the early days of our podcast where our news and notes were like, this movie was filmed in Vancouver. Moving on. We did not do in-depth news and notes. I love when your reviews tell us that you like the news and notes. It makes it really validating that we include them. And I am really proud of the knowledge base that we have built for ourselves and that we honor the people that work on these projects. That being said, yo, Hallmark, help a girl out. There's no credit sheet in the press site and the IMDb is weak.
Always. Even this morning, I was looking through the notes because Megan did the share of the notes for this episode. And I was like, and this was not a knock on you, Megan, but I was like, yo, we're missing this person and this person and this person simply because Hallmark has no credit sheet for this movie, which means all the actors who are in the movie are not listed anywhere. And the IMDb, like whoever is updating that had failed to put them. So we're thankful for connections that we could DM and ask.
Yeah, we reached out to people for some info.
I'm so annoyed by it. Like we have complained, I think, probably for weeks now, and I think you say it best, that Hallmark is flying too close to the sun. They do not have enough people to fill all the roles of the information that is needed for Hallmark content creators.
Yeah, I agree. I even commented on one of the actors' Instagrams. I was like, yo, we love the movie, but get someone on updating your IMDb. Like, get that credit, man.
Seriously. I'm so annoyed by this. Okay, let's move on.
All right. Haunted Wedding was directed by Jeff Beasley. Jeff has 36 directing credits, which include last year's bar crawl comedy, The Santa Summit. His next project to premiere is A Carol for Two, also written by Nina Weinman. And a quick note from me here. I wrote these notes in a very 6 degrees of separation style, just to kind of tie all the connections of the cast and crew together.
Oh, I love that. Rod Spence and Nina Weinman wrote the script for Haunted Wedding. Rod gets the story credit and has 12 writing credits, including the Good Witch movies and 74 episodes of the Good Witch series. Nina co-wrote the teleplay. She has 33 writing credits, including last year's spicy Catch Me If You Claws. Nina wrote both A Carol for Two and Debbie McComer's Joyful Mrs. Miracle, both due out this holiday season.
Janelle Parrish stars as Jana. Janelle has 52 acting credits. Before coming to Hallmark, she was in 138 episodes of Pretty Little Liars, as well as all 3 To All the Boys I've Loved Before movies. She will co-star in Sugar Plummed this holiday season on Hallmark.
Dominic Sherwood plays both Brian and Malcolm. Dominic is a Hallmark newbie, but Swifties take note he played Taylor Swift's boyfriend in the music video for Style. He was also in the Netflix series Partner Track as part of his 17 total acting credits.
You could see him as a Harry Styles-esque actor.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
He's got that look. Yeah.
Cassandra Potenza played Angelique. Cassandra has 15 acting credits, including the Hallmark films A New Year's Resolution and Once Upon a Christmas Miracle.
Lauren Cochran plays Rachel. Lauren has 36 acting credits, including a spot as a karaoke singer in The Santa Summit. She will appear in Hanukkah on the Rocks this season on Hallmark.
Erica Tevley plays Steve. Eric has 61 acting credits, including both Holiday Hotline and The Santa Summit from last year. He appears in Christmas on Call this holiday season on Hallmark. Eric can also be seen in the Canadian series Acting Good, streaming on Tubi in the States.
Dan DeYager plays Earl Dewberry. Dan was also in both The Santa Summit and Holiday Hotline last year and will return in Hanukkah on the Rocks. He has a total of 25 acting credits.
John B. Lowe plays Vern. John has 101 acting credits. He was also in Holiday Hotline last year, and he appeared in one episode of Acting Good with our pal Erica Tuvley. He will also be in Carol for Two this year, written by Nina Whiteman.
Linda Coe plays Joyce. Linda has 38 acting credits. She played Aunt Carrie on To All the Boys series. She also was in Never Been Kissed, directed by Jeff Beasley and starring Janelle Parrish.
Joey Plager was the EP for Haunted Wedding. His other movies include last year's 3-Bed, 2-Bath, 1 Ghost. He is also the EP for Hanukkah on the Rocks.
Sharon Bayer plays Keystone Inn proprietress Marion. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Now I can't do it.
Don't do it again.
Sharon has 55 acting credits. She has appeared in the theatrical release, Ordinary Angels, also featuring Erica Tuvley. She also appeared in one episode of Acting Good. She will appear in the forthcoming Hanukkah on the Rocks this year.
Harry Nelkin plays beleaguered bellhop Waylon. Nelkin is a stage actor with 38 on-screen credits. He has a handful of Hallmark appearances, including Take Me Back to Christmas and Hanukkah on Rye.
Finally, Quinn Green plays the grumpy bartender. Quinn has 19 acting credits, including the Hallmark movie Never Been Kissed with one Janelle Parrish. Man, they're all super connected, huh?
I know.
I liked how you did that, Megan. Bravo.
Thank you. What was your first impression of Haunted Wedding?
Well, this movie gave me all the Ghost Whisperer vibes, and I am not mad about it.
Well, my first impression is Halloween ghosty vibes without being scary. Hallmark has crafted the perfect, for me, fall movie.
Nice.
Let's talk what we liked.
Go ahead.
Well, let me just tell you that I really enjoyed this movie. I'm so glad we got 2 back-to-back real fall. Even though this is not a Halloween movie, the fact that it takes place in fall, we got ghosty vibes. It's great. I am so glad Hallmark leaned in on some actual fall content this year and not just movies that are being released in fall that have a logo on them.
Yeah.
I really like these ghosty stories Hallmark is telling. I think they're really fun. I don't like scary things, and so I like that this is like ghost accessible for somebody like me.
Ghost accessible. I hear you, though. I agree. I wish, this is why I think Hallmark just doesn't have it together this year. I wish they would have leaned in harder in the marketing of these movies as being like, you know, Hallmark Halloween movies or Halloween on Hallmark or whatever. You know?
Yeah. Did you I didn't even see a Halloween on Hallmark logo, like teaser branding.
I think there was, but honestly, I can't be 100% certain without going back to look.
There was so much on-screen advertising. Like the Hallmark Plus advertising takes up a third of the screen. Hallmark, make it smaller. I am begging you. It covers up my captions.
Oh my gosh, right? Yes, grandma needs her captions. Me too. But I agree. When they put the advertisements for like Hallmark Plus, it's like a big like Jonathan Bennett or Lacey Chabert, like
with a giant QR code.
Like I get it. I see what they're trying to do, but maybe it's just too much. I don't know. Too much and too little at the same time. I don't know. Overall, for me, I thought this movie was a lot of fun. I did watch it twice. I watched it the night that it premiered and again the next day just because I had missed out on some parts, and I'm going to discuss that a little bit later. But I thought it was a nice break from the usual Hallmark formula, this movie in particular, which now I'm officially coining as Tradmark.
Oh.
You know, what was that? Now I can't even remember. Tradwife? Was that
Oh,
the
yeah.
buzzword that was?
Yeah. Tradmark.
Tradmark, dude. Okay, it's going to take
classic Hallmark is Tradmark.
Yes, exactly. I thought it did a really good job of being different, but also kept it in the vein that Hallmark fans like.
Yes, still on brand.
Totally, but fresh. but still
Yes.
the same. I liked it. I really enjoyed that we have our main couple. They're already together. They haven't just met. Like it was, I really liked that part of it.
I didn't go into this movie realizing this, but in doing my notes, this is a real ensemble cast. Like a lot of these characters, I don't think you could market it as an ensemble cast, but when you watch it and the way it comes together, this isn't just about Janelle and Dominic's characters. You really needed the full cast to make this movie as strong as it was. There was a lot keeping this train on the tracks, which made it really fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do think this movie felt like an ensemble, and I think that's a credit to Jeff Beasley, who is obviously a pro at directing movies with multiple characters, big casts. Like I think he does that very well. Obviously, friend of the show, Erica Tevley was a standout for me in this movie.
He's
enjoyed
so
him
great. His
so
expressions
much.
are so good.
His reactions, his like, yeah, I just loved it. I laughed out loud every single time like he was on. He was gold. I loved it. I loved the hotel owner, the bartender. I loved. He had some really great lines that made me laugh. He was like mean but funny at the same time. I really liked Bestie Rachel. I thought like she played the perfect foil to Janelle Parrish's character of being like, you know, hesitant about what they were doing. You know,
Yeah,
they're
not
at a
charmed by the ghosts.
Exactly. And then I really also loved Dan DeYager, who plays Earl the medium. I love like the beef that him and Janelle Parrish had between each other. All the moving parts were really great together, I thought.
I really like that Earl Dewberry character as well. I read a review that thought it was over the top. It's obviously supposed to be over the top. Like he's bad at his job. That's the whole thing. Like he's this big dramatic character. My husband thought he was reminiscent of the character Otho, played by the late Glenn Shaddix in Beetlejuice. And I feel like that if it's accidental, it's a very nice surprise. And if it's not accidental, it's very well done. This movie is funny, and there's a couple moments that are like hijinks adjacent, but did not cross the line for me. I loved the hayride scene, and that to me is like
My
the
fave.
most potentially hijinksy, and it was done so well. Linda Coe almost falls off the back of it.
Megan,
like the physical comedy is so. I was in stitches in that moment.
I wondered if that was real or
Yes.
not, because she truly ends up like head over feet or whatever the saying is. I laughed out loud. I thought that was so funny. That whole scene I thought was really great. And you know me, I'm a hijinks hater. It didn't go hijinks for me.
No. Brian, who's pretty like buttoned up throughout the movie, talking to Rachel, and he's like, I don't know, ask your boyfriend, Steve. And I just laughed so hard. Like, anyway.
Yeah, some of the lines were really funny too. And I had read some like not great reviews about the dialogue. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it felt very fresh. It felt very today with the dialogue. How I talk with like my spouse or my friends, you know, I enjoyed a lot of that. Hey, what I liked a lot is the balance between like we have Angelique and Malcolm's story, right? Mm-hmm. And then we have Brian and Jana. And I thought they did that well. It was kind of like a nice contrast of the vibes of like back then plus today.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt complete and well-rounded to me. I was like, oh no, period piece within a movie. You know, I don't typically like period pieces, but I was pleased with how this worked out. I really enjoyed Janelle and Dominic together in this. I thought that they had a really nice natural banter that was very funny at times. And for a Hallmark newbie, like, hello, welcome. I'd like to see you in another movie.
Yeah.
I really liked him, Dominic Sherwood. And speaking of him in particular, I thought he did a really good job playing both Brian and Malcolm.
They
Because
felt like two different characters to me.
They absolutely did. Other than, okay, I did think it was weird. Not weird. He has two different colored eyes. That's not weird to me. But I didn't understand why they didn't make like Malcolm have two of the same color eyes, because they do
to make them
mention it.
stand out.
Yeah. Angelique mentions it at the beginning, something about, she said it in her like period piece, like line, and I don't remember what it is right now, but it was something about like, other than the eyes, they look exactly the same, but then they both had the two different color eyes.
Interesting. Yeah, I hear you.
Anyway, I thought Dominic did really well. Like Brian was like kind of silly and fun. You said he was kind of buttoned up, but there was like some like, he was like kind of dorky at times. He was really into his like ghost hunting and stuff. But then like Malcolm, who was like this serious like period piece guy who was sometimes very snarky. I just thought they did a really good job like playing two totally different guys. He did a really good job.
I agree with you. It was well executed.
Yeah. It was
Even the ghost stuff didn't feel hokey. Like when they show the like putting her hand through the body, it's well done.
Oh, I thought that was she's like, excuse me, or pardon me, or
I
something.
beg your pardon.
Yeah, I thought that was great. One last thing I liked, I love the Captain and Tennille reference. If you didn't know, the Captain and Tennille were a husband and wife like singing duo in the 70s. And I thought it was a nice nod to our lead characters who were like also a duo in like ghost hunting. I don't know what the intention was there, or like which writer wanted to put the Captain and Tennille reference in, or like why that was like a through thing through the movie, but I enjoyed it.
I love a real pop culture reference in these movies.
Me too. Absolutely.
Are you ready to talk wishes?
I am.
I really only have one.
Tell me.
And it is a gripe about ghost movies in general. This happened in the 3-bed, 2-bath, 1 ghost movie, and it even happened in Junebug. And that is, and it happens in non-Hallmark movies too, when a character is speaking to someone that no one else can see, and there's never an acknowledgement from the people around them that, yo, this is weird, with the note that, yes, there was a scene in this movie where Jana is speaking to the ghost, Angelique, and they're like, who's she talking to? But there are many, many other scenes, like when they're in the bar and they're talking to Ghost Malcolm. Like at one point, she turns away from Brian and she's talking to Ghost Malcolm on her right. And I was like, nobody is wondering who she's talking. The bartender doesn't think it's weird. And there's many scenes where Brian and Jana are speaking to Malcolm, which would be an empty space at this bar. I need some acknowledgement. I just need like a wink and a nod from the bartender being like, what is going on over there?
But he did. He walked by at one point when Brian and Jana were talking to Malcolm, and he like looked at them like, what? You don't remember that?
No.
Yeah.
But people need to notice more often is all I'm saying.
Okay. I hear your point. Totally.
Happened in Junebug too. She's like talking to the little girl in her office at a normal speaking voice, and nobody's like, who you talking to, Junie?
I know, but it's like I hear you. I absolutely hear you.
I know they can't just be like whispering and hiding all the time. I get it.
Exactly. That's your only wish?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have a couple.
Okay.
Similar to Hallmark Mysteries, my brain just checks out with the tiny details. And in this movie, I have to stop like keeping track of like what's going to happen, because I just need it to be wrapped up. Like for me, there was this ongoing effort to reunite Angelique and Malcolm, right? I thought it dragged on just a little bit by like maybe 1 or 2 scenes. I was like, are we not done with this yet? Like, is this ever going to happen? Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And my issue with that, I was like, I have to stop caring about why he can't get out. I can't let my brain get wrapped up in the specifics of why this ghost is trapped. And because it makes my head hurt. I just need to be like, he's not out yet, and accept that and not worry about the how and the why.
Yes, exactly. Okay, good. You and I are on the same page. But I think if they would have trimmed like one or two of those scenes, then they could have given into a little more of the other cast who, while not ensemble technically, but I thought deserved like maybe a little more coverage.
Yeah, give us more of a Steve and Rachel scene. Let poor Waylon have a line, man.
Yeah, I don't think he spoke the entire movie, right?
No, except to kind of grunt like the zombies in the Plants vs. Zombies video game every time he was asked to do something.
Right. And then I agree with you about Rachel and Steve because at the end of the wedding, like at the end of the movie when they're kissing, and I was like, well, how did we get there? Right? Because Rachel, not into Steve whatsoever. And then here they're kissing. And then at this part, I'm thinking about writing my notes and I'm like, well, things like that happen at a wedding, right? She just ended up hooking up.
There is a scene where she and Jana are sitting on the steps and she's like, he's not as bad as I thought he was. So we do see that her coming around a little bit. But yeah, I could have used more from them.
Yeah. But I liked it. But I liked it all.
Me too.
All right. Moving on to Did You See That?
Yes.
Bunch.
I have a few too.
Okay, you go.
Well, back to our news and notes, we did mention that Linda Coe is in Never Been Kissed, but we didn't mention that she also played Janelle's character mother in that movie as well.
This makes me take pause because I have the same note and I was like, does this raise an important point regarding representation of Asian American actors on Hallmark?
Yeah, like I love Linda Coe. I think she was great in this role. We didn't really mention it a lot. Like she's mean, but she's so funny. I just really liked her. So I'm happy to see her here. But yeah, do we have an issue with there aren't enough Asian American actors in which to play this role? That is a good question.
And we don't really talk a lot in our episodes about diversity, but it's kind of lacking lately on Hallmark. So
yeah, I think it's suffered in the place of some other areas that they've focused their attentions.
Agree. Janelle Parrish was credited for the voice performance of singing Love Will Keep Us Together.
Nice.
Yes, that is her actual singing voice, which I enjoyed. I thought she was great.
Really cute scene.
And at the very beginning of that scene, did you notice actor Harry Nelkin, who plays Waylon? He is at the piano and he is wearing a captain's hat, just like the captain.
Oh, I
thought
didn't.
It was super cute. I thought it was really, really fun. Loved it. And my final, did you see that? Did you catch the Ghostbuster reference?
I did not.
It was just like, who are we going to call? And she goes, Ghostbusters. Yeah.
I did miss that.
I liked it.
Dominic Sherwood does use two accents in this movie, and neither is his own. He was born in England, and if you look at his Instagram page, there's a video with him speaking, and he does have a British accent, but in this movie, he had an American and a Scottish accent.
I really would like to see him in another movie.
Me too. Really thought he fit right in.
And I really like Janelle Parrish, too.
She gets better and better every movie we see her in.
I know.
I can't wait for Sugar Plummed.
I'm one of my top ones I'm looking forward to this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Okay, what'd you rate this movie, Haunted Wedding?
I think it's 5 stars.
Hey, well, that's exciting for you. I gave it 4.5 stars.
I was trying to decide, but I do think it's a 5-star movie. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I love when the network gives us something slightly different.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. The negative reviews I've read about this movie are super unfair, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was surprised by some of the negative reviews. This didn't hit for some people, but it did hit for me. So thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark. We talked about next week, but this week is a big week as well. We have 3 more episodes coming at you. We have The Chicken Sisters. We have our review of Curious Caterer and our Crystal Lowe interview out on Friday. So make sure you are subscribed. Come back and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.